Hello guys, this is Ella speaking. I'm giving you some tips on how to prepare yourself for this ISP. Perhaps there are few things you already know, there might be few things you don't know. The reason I am putting this video together for you guys because I felt that some of you didn't attend the group meeting, some of you were less participating. Some of you might be a bit confused or not know where to go, what is expected from you. So I thought this might be a very good place actually to tell you how I myself, as a lecturer, as your supervisor, will be marking you, and how the second examiner will be marking you, and how the external examiner would actually mark your work. And this should prompt you how to plan your study, how to do time management, how to actively participate, hopefully, and give yourself some brownie points as we move forward. As you see here, these are the marking criteria that all lecturers would be using. And you see at the start of this lecture or this not lecture, this form, I will be providing a very concise, a very brief overview of what you as individual did. This is one of my very good students through the this project last year, and therefore uh, I put some, like a paragraph of how that individual performed during the lab, how that individual did the teamwork, attended meetings, and worked towards their project, whether they shared their draft report with me or not, whether it was timely, as Germans say, pünktlich, or it was a bit delayed, and whether they had some, additional thoughts contributed beyond the project and contributed beyond what I was telling them. So that reflects the independence, the critical thinking, and whether they use evidence-based literature or they might have been using more internet resources, whether they were actively engaged with reading and contributing in discussions or otherwise, whether they were punctual, whether they were hardworking, etc., etc. And of course, there will be some pointers because this individual might need a reference letter in future to apply for a job, for MSc, postgrad degree, anything. And therefore, even if I'm not here, the second examiner or another peers can pick this form up and provide a reference letter for them. And you see there is an area for the second marker, so they would approve or disapprove and actually comment on our work. Here we will award you for, you don't have lab reports, but I've looked at your research tools, what kind of tools you are using and at the level of systematic reviews and your research skills as well as the writing. And here you see criteria for your writings, whether the abstract is okay. As I said, this individual was a very proactive and very good student of mine. In a bunch of 10, I had a couple of students who were not that active. One of them actually failed. And as I go through it, I'm not going to read all of them, but hopefully you can pause and make yourself familiar with. So if your level of, the abstract you produce and when you do the write-up is actually satisfactory, you get satisfactory. If it is excellent, you get excellent. If you need help, however, you're not sure where you're standing, this is a good time because we still have a few months ahead of us to go to a student services, ask for help and support, attend workshops to enhance your academic writing. Then it comes to introduction and aim of your project, and this is going to be a systematic review, so you will be hopefully skillfully and comprehensively writing up that bit as well. When it comes to methods, you will be using a PICO, for instance, and you will explain how you did it. You need to provide data tabulations and guide the readers how you did your search methods. You need to explain in details. You need to put graphs and um, either graphs with figure legends or things that you yourself provided, or sometimes you need to get help from literature, and sometimes you put those graphs in your literature review, in your introductions of the projects as well. Then you talk about the results. In your case would be the papers you have selected, what was discussed in those papers one by one, and draw a sort of conclusion. And when it is a discussion bit, you're going to discuss your findings, you're going to compare and contrast it with the literature, with the other findings, the other data, other systematic reviews. So you have a pretty heavy task on your hand. Don't take it, lightly. And then I have another box to mark you for overall presentations and referencing skills. So again, if you're not sure, we already talked about it yesterday, about the referencing skills. So if you have any doubt that your referencing skills might not be up to standards, again, student services is a good place, the student support, to tell you what are the other options. Libraries is the second best, or perhaps the first best place. Maybe they give you some tips, and they have workshops. So you need to be actively and proactively communicating with different information systems and platforms to enhance your transferable skills. I am your mentor. I'm guiding you. I cannot offer every like teaching bits, because other people in this organization are actually getting paid to help you guys to do so for you. Then when it comes to research skills, and in your terms is the systematic review research, the tools we are using, the softwares we are using, the keywords you are using, and approaches that we are going to talk about it. And I will provide another video hopefully shortly for you guys, but I thought this is more essential now, because I saw a few of you were absent or were not proactive enough. I want all of you to succeed with 2.11 or first class. Okay, I don't want to see anyone fail or in a third position. All right, then here, when it comes to research skill, I'm going to evaluate your independence and organization. I'm going to evaluate and tell you give you points here, whether you were able to do problem solving, how independent were you after receiving initial information about communication. So don't underestimate these meetings we have, group meetings, or attending these group meetings. Sometimes you might need one-to-one. Feel free to communicate, but the most important thing is timekeeping. So if you're not attending and you haven't told your supervisor, you're not gonna do yourself a favor. And as you see, these criteria are pretty tight and gives us a possibility to fairly mark you. So there should be a difference between a student who is actually excellent with communication, actually informing their supervisor, they are proactive, they are working hard, they are meeting, whether if it is the problem is with camera, they try to fix it, or they find another means, another platforms to communicate and inform their supervisor if they couldn't attend, maybe one, maybe two. We are not sick all the time. So if there is major issue, again, you need to speak with advisors at the level of student health or student services to support you. If you are lacking that time management and timekeeping and need support, they can actually help you in laying out a plan for you guys. Those are who are good. You can find yourself like this, a student of mine, that they are actually ticking all the boxes at the high end, at the right hand side of this slide. Then when it comes comes to technical, you're going to tell me how you did this research. You might have additional skills that you would like to bring it. This student did, and you would like to actually showcase those skills, not in a way to affect your project report, because your project report cannot exceed the word count. That's one thing. So you need to be skillfully putting those additional information, additional techniques in place without actually affecting your final output, if you see what I'm saying. So it's a very fine line to go literally overboard and write, I don't know, 25,000 words instead of what is expected from you. So you will learn skillfully how to do writing a scientific piece of academic piece of writing um, in a way that it's concise, it is coherent, it is to the point, but also it showcases your critical thinking. It showcases your additional and independent ideas, as well as what your supervisor guided you. Okay, these are marking criteria. You are already familiar with it, but there is no harm for me to showing you. Every module manager should put a copy of this on their module. If not, there is a share folder for you guys, or you can contact any of admin people in our school, in our department, neuroscience if you are, or biological science if you are. So reach them to give you the right marking criteria. If none of them works, you can find the marking criteria on Keele website, and it is the same as you see here, but perhaps more bullet points are there. I found the marking criteria that Keele University offers on the main web page. It's actually more comprehensive because the sentences are longer, so you get a meaningful, sense of meaningfulness from them. These are very bullet points for us, and sometimes the students might not pay attention to the importance of these criteria. And as you see, these students had showed evidence of critical thinking, analysis, and insight if it is in bold, and if it is not in bold or underlined, so the students wasn't actually achieving that level as well. Okay, you might be in a good category, 2.1. Then we will underline whether it may contain some minor errors, your work, or there might be some omissions, there might be some irrelevant material. So you see, I have every key and key points to give you your mark. So it's gonna be very fair, because I'm going to have um, 10, 20, 30 of you guys. And if I don't have criteria, this would be very subjective, wouldn't it? But using this criteria, I know that every student, every individual student would actually receive the mark they deserve. And all I'm trying to tell you is that work hard. If you feel yourself you might fall in this category to poor class or satisfactory, this is the time to think about how I can lift my mark and bring it up. How I can notice that I might fall in this category or that category, your previous marks and grades would prompt you. So have a look at your last year grades and marks, and see that did I receive 55? What was the feedback? Go back to those feedbacks. Is there anything I can take on board? I can modify, I can make it better to take me from 58 to 62, from 62 to 68. If I was already in a 2.1 in a good class category, then is there anything I can, okay, this excellent communication, what does that mean? I go and ask the student services. They are giving me some web links, they are giving me some brochures and pamphlets, whether it's online or in person I can collect. I go and fetch it on my way from a, I don't know, laboratory, or next time I'm on campus. Well presented and well structured report. What does that mean? You can go to the library and request the version either online or in person, hard copy, and spend, I don't know, an hour, book an hour to read what your peers wrote in the previous year, previous academic year. You don't have to go far. Just previous year, pick one or two samples. One who received, I don't know, 55 mark, the other one who received 58 marks, 75 versus 58. So this way you can compare with your own eyes that what was the feedback that individual received, the individual who received an excellent first class 75 or 85 marks, and what sort of feedback the individual received when they had received 58 or 55 marks. What can I do as a fresh students for the third year that is doing the ISP now to actually be in this category, or upper second class category. So hopefully these tips are going to help you to plan your approach, or modify your approach to actually do great things with your ISP projects and eventually get great marks as well. Most importantly, when you plan things accordingly, when your timely attendance and being on the top of your curricula, being on the top of your timetable, you would feel happy as well. And happiness, as neuroscientists, we know that it enhances learning and memory, and with more energy you come back to the next tutorial, to the next group meetings we have, which is a tutorial in a way, and participate more, and it doesn't make you tired or frustrated, but it actually gives you additional energy and boosts of energy that, oh, I know what I'm doing, and I love to attend the next sessions in ISP, and I would really like to do well. So I hope that you find this video, short bite-sized learning video, again useful to you guys. Next communication, hopefully we will talk more focus on the PICOs, and get into the depth of systematic reviewing bits by bits. Okay, take care and all the best for now. Bye bye.